What's up? What's up?
Oh, recovering.
Recovering. I like to hear that.
What's going on?
Recovering, as you say, because
We had a
getting
time yesterday.
yeah, getting up driving. Oh gosh. Whew.
Yeah, I don't understand how you were able to do it, but I'm grateful you made it home safely.
Yes, yes, me too. So, and I know you don't be up late like this. So let me start by saying thank you for staying up late to shoot this episode of Some Get It, Some Don't. So I sure appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And before we continue, as you started off, you had a nice day party that turned into a all day extravaganza.
Whew. Thank you. We definitely went up for about 10 hours.
Yeah, it was an all day extravaganza for sure.
But you only turned 40 once. So
That that is true. Which
I had to
for
I
those who
had to
don't
get it out
know,
my system.
yeah, you're right. And for those who don't know, this is a special birthday edition of Some Get It, Some Don't. So yeah, I'm glad it didn't work out when it was supposed to because it worked out like perfect
Perfect.
time.
See?
See? Yes. All right, well, let's just jump right into it. So, for those who don't know, this is my sister. She is the middle child, but she gets treated like the baby because she is
The
the
chosen child.
favorite. But will, huh?
I'm the
Huh?
chosen child.
Oh, the chosen child. I'm sorry. She's the chosen child. So let's just jump right into it. So the introduction. So for those who know, of course, Quenosha, but let's talk about QB. Let's talk about your early stages of life and don't try to jump too ahead, just early. So let's talk about that.
Early, how early we going back to kids?
Yeah, like as early as you can remember. Yes.
Kids when I thought I was gonna be in the WNBA.
Before
And
that.
I, um,
Yeah,
um,
before that, because I'm talking about that.
growing
So don't
up,
before that.
growing up, we had a good life, I believe. Mom was I'm pretty sure they know that my mom was your stepmom, but um, she was the only child of my grandma that went to college. None of her other kids went to college, and so I believe my mom, she tried to like show me, you, and Pookie something different that you don't always have to be the product of your environment. And I know she used to always tell us that she wanted us to see her go to school and do things the right way so that we would never have to struggle. Though I didn't go to college, that was not for me.
You don't gotta jump ahead.
But okay, yeah. But yeah, growing up, I think we had a good life. We wasn't rich or anything like that, but whatever we needed or pretty much wanted, our parents, mom and daddy, I mean, they provided for us. Then elementary, I remember my biological dad died when I was in the third grade. I remember your mom died. I want to say it was like 6 months apart in the same year. We were both in the third grade, but it was always a blessing to have the parents that we have still here for us. I remember growing up, me and you, because you didn't live with us. You lived with your mom before she passed. But I remember, they never made a difference in the kids,
Yeah.
regardless of what they dislikes with each other was. They never made a difference in the kids. Anytime that I wanted to go over there and stay the night, Miss Tammy always let me come stay the night. So I always remember that, and I appreciate them not making a difference in us, because baby,
Yeah,
um,
that was crucial to not do that. Which
yeah,
before you continue, because one of the next topics was or talking points was what do you remember about your dad?
my biological dad,
Yes.
nothing. Nothing. I remember he had a horse skipper book. I don't think the man never had a car. He always rode a horse. But my dad, Terry, my stepdad, however y'all want to call him, my daddy, has been in my life since I was probably 6 months. So I can't say that I remember anything about my biological dad. I know mama never really pretty much let me and Pookie around him, whatever the situation may be. And I remember grandmama would try to sneak us over there to see him. Of course, me, I'm a mama's baby. I don't want to go. I don't know that man. Pookie did
Hmm.
want to go because she Pookie has more knowledge of him than what I do. Um, but I do remember, like I said, he died when I was in the third grade. I remember him coming to my school before he died. Within that same year, him coming to the school, and that was the last time that I seen him in good health.
Okay.
He passed. He used to own like a little juke joint, little gambling shacks and stuff like that. And they said he had a sleeping disorder, so he would always fall asleep or whatever. And I guess somebody put Visine in his drink and blew his heart up. So my last visual knowledge of him is in a hospital, of course, but I don't have any memory of him that I could share like that because my daddy, my stepdaddy, your dad has been in my life for forever.
Yes. Which you also touched on that too. So for those who don't know, like she said, my mom passed away, their dad passed away, and then my dad married their mom. So like I said, a lot of people say step, but we 40, so it ain't, and it
And
never
my
really was
parents,
treated as such anyway. So they're my parents. So for those
yeah.
who don't know, like the connection, whatever. So those are our parents. So you kind of touched on this too, which I'm glad you did because as I say on every interview, these talking points that I have, I kind of put them, but they all just kind of flow so perfectly. So, what do you remember about me coming over on the weekends? And I know I made a joke not too long ago about us eating Pizza Hut every weekend. So, that was
Whew.
always funny.
So every weekend, Fridays we ate Pizza Hut. Saturdays we went to First Cafeteria every Saturday. The whole family we would go to First, and then we would probably go to the what was it, the dollar movie, the $2 movie at the time.
Uh-huh. Over there by
Um,
Kmart.
yeah. But with me and you, I remember this like so vaguely. We stayed on 27th, and we used to sit out there argue about who knew your daddy the longest or who he liked the most and stuff like that. And he was like, "He my daddy. He like me. He been knowing me all my life. So I live with him. He know me better." I remember we used to have little petty arguments and stuff like that. But I used to look forward to you coming over on the weekends because we're the same age. We got the same friend group. So it was like, my brother, that's my best friend. We finna kick it. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think the older that we got, the more closer that we were, that we got. I mean, of course, we brothers and sisters, we all grew up together like that, but with us having that same friend circle, because we didn't go to school together. We never went to school together, but we always
Never.
shared the same friends.
Hey, that was good. Because I want to see how I want to take it because I have two that's back to back, but let's just stick on that because you said like the relationship that we had, as she said, we were closer in, well, we're the same age, basically, in the same grade and everything. She's a little bit older than me, but we was in the same grade. So as she said, we had the same friend groups. But if you can kind of talk about like our relationship and how we kind of bonded like over the years, like a little bit more besides what we just talked about.
Well, Suki was always the smart guy, smarter than smart. He just smart for no damn reason. But anyway, um, always inspiring to me. I think like growing up, just hearing that you always on the honor roll and stuff like that was very inspiring to me. And then going to Parkway and you are always chosen to get new shoes. And I went to be in elementary, they ain't giving us no shoes and stuff. I'm like, I'm doing good. They ain't giving me no shoes. But I don't know, just the way that you live, young, even young, like you never involved yourself with things that you didn't approve of, regardless of who your friends and stuff was. You always stayed to your, well, not stay to yourself, but you just remained that same person, that same Tuki. You never tried to switch up and be anything else, and that was always like, yeah, that's my brother. Y'all got me messed up. You better not mess with him because I fight behind. Y'all don't know I fight behind my brother, like especially as a kid. Baby, you
Yeah,
can't
it
say
was
nothing
crazy.
to him wrong. You can't look at him wrong because you'll get it. But I don't know. I don't know. You were always just so inspiring because you never was the one to get mad. You weren't the one to hold anything against us growing up because we all went different lifestyles. But just seeing how you were in school and in sports, I was like, that's my brother. Like, that's my brother.
So now that you said that, let's fast forward to let's bring our big sister in the picture. And can you talk about the relationship that y'all had growing up?
So me and my sister, we thicker than thieves, but that's my dog. That's my dog. Um, like I say, she knows more about our biological dad than I do because she's 2 years older than me. So she was around him a little more. Um, Pookie is the total opposite though. Growing up, Pookie was always the total opposite. You know, you can yell at me or even yell at you and we'll get it together. You yell at Pookie and she finna turn up even more. So baby, don't do it like that. But
Turn up.
she still was a loving person. But I remember like when we was kids, she used to try to beat me up and make me do her chores every weekend. And I used to tell my mom like, this is kid abuse. I don't want to stay here with her. You always leaving me with her. She beating on me. But Pookie, I think Pookie was like both of our protector growing up. I remember when I
Easily.
was at Bean Elementary, Pookie was at O.S. Slade, and then when I was in the fourth grade, and this girl was in the sixth grade, and I probably was bullying her sister or something because I was a bully then, and she had went and got her sister, and then I was little, small. She had went and got her sister, and her sister was supposed to be fighting me after school or whatever, and our mama wasn't playing it. Fighting who? No, you gonna have to fight the big sister. I remember she called to OS Slade and had Pookie get out of school early to come to Bean Elementary so that when I get out of school to make sure that this girl don't bother me. When I tell you Pookie came up to that school and I almost ran through the older sister and the little sister, and I'm just like, oh yeah, why would you send her? But Pookie, she's more of a she's a protector, I would say.
Yeah. That I will agree
And for some reason, y'all
100%.
chose to have
She,
kids like
oh yeah, I know. We did. We'll talk about that a little later. But as you said, I think she embodies like the definition of what she is, the big sister. Like she most definitely is a big
yes,
sister for sure, for sure.
yes.
Uh, Moving on to the best one, as I said earlier, like I lost my mom when I was 6, but so I don't take my mom right now for granted. But if you can kind of touch and talk about the relationship that we don't have to get to what y'all have now, but the relationship with mama that you have or had with her growing up.
Growing up with Betty Jean Scott, Washington. Like I say, when she decided to go to school, and I was young, and I remember when she decided to go to college to show us something different, that truly inspired me, even as a young age. You know, I didn't know if I was going to college or not, but that just showed me how strong of a woman she really is. Like I say, none of my aunts or uncles ever went to college. You know, my aunts and uncles either dated dope boys or sold dope or whatever, and everybody did except for my mama. So she always very loving, but she gonna show you tough love if you're not
Yeah.
getting it. She's definitely gonna give it to you gently, and if you're not getting it, she's gonna show you tough love. Um, Growing up all the way through school, I was a kid that did everything the right way, the way that I was supposed to do it. And so she always showed me like the best love. She gave me whatever I wanted, always rewarded me for doing right or whatever. And then when I got out of school and I wanted to be grown and go on and do my own thing and live this different life from what she raised me to do, she had to show me that tough love.
Oh.
I didn't understand it, a little hard at the time because I'm like, damn, I thought you loved me. But
Mm-hmm.
it was honestly the best thing that she could ever do because that's just how much she did love me to show me that I'm gonna have to stop giving you in order for you to learn how to survive in this world without me. And I believe that's one thing that she always wanted us to know that wanted us to be able to do if anything was to ever happen to her, she wanted to make sure that her kids were all right. So she gonna show you she's a very loving person. She showed me tough love, and like I say, I don't regret it. At the time I didn't understand it. But now knowing what it was for and seeing where I am now, I'm definitely appreciative of it.
Yeah, and that's why I think that growing up, just even going over there on the weekends or whatever, like she would always show tough love, but you could tell she genuinely loved all of us and she wanted the best for us and she put us in situations that was gonna make us successful. I tell the story all the
Right.
time that when I was in college, she made me work like in factories intentionally for me
Yeah.
to say, you gonna go to school and finish, or this is the
This
plan
is what you're
B.
gonna do. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I remember like it was yesterday. She's like, yeah, you gonna go down there, you gonna sign up for this little day labor ready or whatever it was called at the time. And you know, they gonna pay you by the day or whatever, but you gonna work in these factories. So when it's time to go
Oh,
back
so
to
you can
school, you
choose which
going
way, which
back.
life you want.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
like
it. And she did. She always did that. And even like I said, even when I got into high school and you were signing up for colleges, different colleges, and getting accepted into colleges, and I remember her saying, "So are you not gonna sign up for nothing?" I'm sitting there like, "No." So I thought I was gonna play basketball all my life up
hold
until
on, hold
11th
on, hold
grade.
on, hold on. See, I'm going there. I'm going there.
Hold on, but I'm still in school.
I know that's what I said. I'm going there. I'm going.
Okay.
That's the
Okay,
next
well, we ain't
topic.
talking basketball. We're talking about still about her 11. But when I told her that I didn't plan on going to college, that's when I got into cosmetology.
And I'm going
And
there
that's the
too.
thing she said, like, since you don't want to do this, you're gonna have to do something. You better get in something that you want to do. And that's the same thing she said, you're gonna be working at a factory forever. And that's one thing that's she worked at Miss Bear's Bakery for forever, wearing that Dickies jumpsuit. And I never want to wear no Dickie suit because I hated seeing her in that brown suit. So I'm like,
Hmm.
ugh. So, and she always told me, you're either gonna do something that you love doing, or you're gonna be working like me until she went to school. And then she was the supervisor.
Uh-huh. Sanitation, baby.
Baby. Now she cleaned up the shop like it's a warehouse.
So you just talked about it. So once again, I'm just so thankful, blessed, whatever you want to say, that these questions just flow so well. So I'm gonna combine the two because you mentioned the two. And you did kind of hint at this when we started. Can you let the people know that before it was Loctrap, before it was cosmetology, that you really was a hooper? You was in the
Very
athletics.
much of
That's
a
what you
hooper,
like to
baby. Y'all better
do.
play with somebody. Yes. Before I even knew that I could do hair, I was a hooper. I had been playing basketball since I was in the third grade. Played with LGB, played on AAU team for a year, played for OL Sladen. I think I played at the Boys and Girls Club too at one point in time. Played my 10th grade year, I played for Monterey. I love basketball, like that was my thing. I remember when we was in junior high, we played Dunbar, and I was hooping on Dunbar, and this was the first game that our daddy came to. So I'm showing out, like my daddy in the stands, and I'm out here. I swear to you, it was like first quarter, I had like 20 something points, and I'm going down to do a layup, and Shakay tackled me in the air, baby, messed my knee out. Messed my knee out, put me out the game. Boy, I cried so hard. I think I didn't cry because of the pain. I cried because my daddy was there, and now I
Uh-huh.
can't ball on y'all no more. But yeah, I love basketball. That's my first love. Have played for so long, and I think now people be thinking I be playing when I tell them I hoop. Like, yeah, I still know how to do this. But again, when thinking about college in the future, when Mama asked me, was I going to college? No, because I mean, if I want to continue to play basketball, I got to go to college, right? Because I ain't good enough to just go straight to the WNBA. So I remember her asking me that, and I was on my way to basketball practice at Monterey, and the whole basketball team and the cosmetology room. We had to pass that room. They had sign-ups outside, and we signing up just as a joke. I get accepted, mind you. I'm a tomboy. I don't even know how to comb my hair, so I'm like. And so after I had already had that conversation with Mama, and the school notified her that I was accepted into cosmetology, and I think it was like $500 per year because it was my junior and senior year, so it was $1,000 to get my cosmetology license. And so she was like, "Well, since you signed up for it, you must really want to do it, and you said you're not going to college, you're gonna be in it." And I'm just like, "But what am I gonna do in it? Like, look at my hair." And when I actually got in, I mean, I knew how to braid because I always braided trash hair. Like, I'm a beast when it comes to braids. Well, then, not now, because I'm a loctician.
Yeah,
But
I always tell people that too. She know how to braid her. She just don't do it no
yeah,
more.
that was then. This is new times. So I knew how to braid. That was it. I didn't know how to do anything with no how to know how to do no curling irons, no perms, no none of that. I don't put no makeup on, no none of that. But I actually realized that these hands is pretty gifted. Like they were doing what they were supposed to do. Like so I think we had like a class of 17 in cosmetology and maybe 3 of us got our license.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
senior year graduating, went to take the test in Austin because then you could only take in Austin, and I failed my written part. And Mama was so strong on ain't no failing. I was scared to tell her like, mind you, I'm graduating now, but I'm like, oh my goodness, how I'm gonna tell this lady I failed this test. And in order for me to take the test again, I gotta drive back to Austin. Mind you, she work in the warehouse, baby. You just can't be taking off like that. They gonna get points. You don't tell nobody no
Mm-hmm.
Crown Dicky suit that you gotta take out for work. So when the results came back in, I think I had I failed it by like maybe 2 or 3 questions or something like that. And she wasn't that mad. She was just like okay, we're gonna go back and take it. But I was scared to go take the test again. I was scared because I hate failing. I hate to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do fail, like it takes me a long time to try to do it again. So when I did go back and take my test, I was pregnant. But I passed 22 years.
Which
Yeah.
leads us into the next topic, which you just mentioned. If I remember correctly, I remember being at Abilene Christian at the time. I'm pretty sure I had to be. Yeah,
Hmm.
I had to be. Yeah, because I remember you calling me like, "Hey, I gotta tell you something." Because where, weren't you like outside of like Dallas or something? Where
Yes,
was
I
that
was in
at?
McKinney.
McKinney, yeah, McKinney, yep,
Hmm.
yep, yep. So, being in McKinney, I remember getting that phone call because that what was that called? Job? What was it called? Job
Job
Corps?
Corps. Hmm.
Yeah, she was at Job Corps. Remember my sister calling me, telling me she was pregnant. So since you started it, so kind of finished that, and we don't have to get details,
Yeah.
but you know.
Most scariest part of my life because Mama always said, "You ain't bringing no kids in my house. You get pregnant, you have a baby, you gotta go." Now I did after high school, I did go to Job Corps. It was another trade school or whatever, and I took got a trade in accounting. And I did that because I didn't know that I was gonna own a salon eventually. So I wanted a little more business aspect behind it without going to college. Um, so when I got pregnant, I was so scared to tell Mama. I think I told you and Pookie before I told Mama
I'm
because
pretty sure
I
you
was,
did.
yeah, I'm like, this lady gonna kill me. She gonna knock the baby up out of me. Like, mind you, I'm grown. I shouldn't be scared to tell her anything. But okay. So I had came home. I was through with Job Corps. I had came home or whatever, and I actually went and took a pregnancy test, and it said that it was negative. So I think I took like 3 pregnancy tests and they were saying negatives. So I kept getting sick and sick and sick. Like I couldn't do nothing. And I was like, dang, like something wrong. So I did some blood work and they told me I was pregnant. I was scared to tell her, so I wrote her a letter and left it on her bed. And I mean, I think I called Sabrina and Taisha. I might have called Pookie. I was gone for the whole day until she called me because you gonna have to call me in order for me to come back home because you can't be knocking my head off.
I gotta see where your mind is before I come back.
Yeah, I gotta see where your mind is because I'm scared. So she wasn't mad. She wasn't as mad as I thought she was gonna be. She was a little disappointed because she's always wanted better or whatever. But she wasn't as mad as I thought she was gonna be. Baby, she the best grandmother in the world. Best grandmother in the world. Through my whole pregnancy, like she helped me through it all because of course it was scary. I only got 1 kid and I never do it again. So yeah, I was scared. It was a lot. Never been through anything like that. Um, but I mean, with her, it was so much easier. With her, my daddy right there, like it was so much easier. They did everything for me that I needed to be done. Even put new carpet in the house. So Quaker call on new carpet. I was like, oh yeah, y'all for real, huh? Because we never got new carpet.
Yeah, they wasn't playing
But
no games when she came. I don't
Yeah,
think none of us was though. It was the perfect time because like nobody else had
yeah,
kids, as you mentioned earlier. So everybody got to put all the effort into Quay. So
right, right. And then with it just, just being me and Quay, like we definitely needed this whole family to help with us. I'm very appreciative of you.
yeah, man, I told people I didn't have a daughter, but that was the closest thing that I had to a daughter. So when I had my daughter, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be easy,"
It's
because
easy. I got this.
I I helped with my niece, for the
Yeah,
longest. So I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm good."
yeah.
All right, so this next one is going to combine a lot of things, and the only reason why I'm going to combine them because, as we both know, time happens, and I don't want to ask one that's wrong. So you will understand when I say it. So let's talk about. If I remember correctly, I think it was called Tom's. Is that the place you worked at? Was that what it was called?
Mr. Tom's,
Mr.
my
Tom.
first
So
job.
we're gonna talk about Mr. Tom's. We're gonna talk about Smart Styles, and we're gonna talk about like some of your darkest moments of having to go away for a little bit and being away from your daughter. So we're gonna combine all those things because I know they kind of intersect a little bit.
Hmm.
So I'll let you take off with that.
Okay, so my first job as a cosmetologist was at Mr. Tom's. I was a shampoo tech, matter of fact, and I hated it because but it taught me a lot. I didn't work there very long. That was during the time after I had my daughter. You go through, as a woman, you go through some type of things, some type of depression, trying to figure out your life, where you want to go, how things going. And being a single mother, it was really hard. And so after Mr. Tom's, I decided I want to sell drugs. It was just like, this ain't getting it, this ain't cutting it. And growing up, no, my parents didn't sell drugs, but we're around it.
Around
We're
it.
around it, so it's something that we knew. So I decided that I want to be this street girl, this hood girl, and do this. Did okay in it, or whatever. But then I was with Johnny, my baby daddy at the time, and I think he had got locked up, and I didn't want to do that no more. So then I started working at Pro Cuts off of 82nd in Frankfurt.
That's right.
Working
I
at
knew I
Pro
was missing
Cuts
one.
Pro Cuts taught me how to use clippers, taught me how to cut with clippers. Great job, good job. Didn't sell drugs anymore after that. I was just, I after seeing him being taken away, I can't be taken away from Quay. So I switched things up then. Was working, did good, kept continue to working. My baby daddy got out of jail. Um, he lived the life he lived. I still wasn't messing around, but our house wound up getting raided or whatever. My mama stepped in, helped get the house back in order. During this time, I'm working at a salon called Supercuts. No, it was called Cost Cutters. Cost Cutters
Cost cutters, cost cutters.
yeah, on University in the Loop across from Target.
Mm-hmm.
Um, cool job or whatever. That's during the time we had got rated or whatever. Um, I continued to work there. I forgot why I stopped working there, but I think okay, yeah, I know. I started working at Smart Styles inside of Walmart. So those other shops that I worked at were paying me by the hour. So it was like no matter how much hair I do, I'm still gonna only get this certain amount of a check. And that's what drove me to I want to do something else to get some more money. Because I'm still new in my career and I still haven't figured out my hands as much or this whole industry yet. So when I went to Smart Styles was a commission based shop. So I get paid, I can make up to 50% of every whatever I do depending on what quota I hit. Um Working in those shops taught me discipline on how when I'm working for myself, how to be able to sit still and sit in a shop when nobody's coming in and waiting for people to
Mm-hmm.
come in. Um Taught me my customer service skills, taught me a lot of skills with chemical work in the industry and different things like that. And I believe I've taken all that and added it into Loctrap. After Smart Styles, got with this other guy. My baby daddy was locked up again. I got with this other guy. For some reason, I chose to choose these hood dudes. That's what I like. And went through the same thing again. Want to sell drugs now again. I quit my job, to do this. And again, and it was a little different because now we messing with big work now. So it was a little different. But I don't know. In my head, it was just always like, this is not the lifestyle that you're supposed to be living. Like, you are better than this. What are you doing? But I was young. I was young. All of this was before my 30s. These are in my 20s. So I was young, and I think it was just fun at the time. It was fun, I guess, living on the edge. But messing with this guy, like I say, I got a little deeper into the selling drugs or whatever, and I wound up catching my own case um behind this or whatever. So I shouldn't have gotten locked up. I could have did right, but I was so lost at the time. This is during the time when my mama had to show me that tough love. Because she had already told me about certain guys and certain things that's going to happen because she's seen it before. So I wound up letting Quay stay with her because that's the best place for Quay because I'm in the streets right now. So I wound up letting Quay stay with her, whatever, and I was doing whatever it was I was doing. And I'm sorry, this is touchy because
yeah.
it's really touchy. Yeah. Wound up getting into trouble, getting locked up, being taken away from my daughter. Something I never thought that I would do.
Yeah. That's why I ask these questions because people got to know like how it all came about and the things that you had to go through because that that shows a lot.
Yeah, it was hard. I never had never been locked up before. So being taken away from my daughter was like the craziest thing. I wouldn't let anybody bring her to see me in jail like that or anything like that. But I can say that getting locked up probably was one of the best things for me individually because it taught me a lot of what I would not do again. It set me down and let me know where my life was heading. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm not a person. I don't like to be told what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Don't put me on a time frame. I'm never going back to jail.
Mm-hmm.
But all I could think about is the pain that I'm causing my daughter. Because mind you, her daddy already in the penitentiary. Now her mama going to jail. Like, what else does she have? Why am I showing her this? Because my mama didn't show me this. So went to jail, got out. I came home. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have any socks. I didn't have no underclothes. I didn't have nothing but whatever I had on my back. When I left, yes, I did have everything. I did have a lot. So it was starting over from ground zero. One of the hardest things to do because now my daughter gotta watch me struggle to get us back to where we're supposed to be when we should have never been there. So I had my license, my cosmetology license was suspended, and Street wanted me to come work at his shop, Main Street Barbering, but I wouldn't do it because I knew my license was suspended, and I didn't have any money to get my license at the time. I'm fresh home and I don't have anything, and my parents ain't rich to where they could just be dropping money like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working at Best Western, um, the hotel off the interstate. I was working overnight as a front desk clerk or whatever. And first check I got, I wouldn't renew my license. And as soon as I got my license in, I called Street and told them I got my license, I can come work or whatever. Mind you, I don't have any clients anymore. So now we stepping out on faith because I'm finna go into booth rent. Well, let me back up. Let me back up because I did do booth rent before I got locked up. After I had stopped working at Smart Styles, I had started working at my cousin's shop on 34th. I don't even remember the name of that shop. But anyways, I was doing booth rent. Failed terribly. I probably worked there for about 2 months. I don't think a lot of people even know because I failed terribly because I didn't have any clientele to just come in like that. During the time I was, cutting dips from people here to come into Walmart, not to just come out straight. So I failed terribly. Then got locked up, blah, 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 blah. So when I come home and working the Best Works and get my check, I get my license back. I start working at the barbershop or street or whatever. At this time, I wasn't doing lots. I'm doing whatever gonna put some money in my pocket. I cut your hair, I braid your hair, perm your hair, whatever you want done, I'm gonna do it. Um, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because I was still working overnight at the motel, but I would go into the shop every morning when I get off of work at 7 o'clock. I go home, get Quay ready, get her to school, and I go straight to that barbershop. I sat in that barbershop for months without doing no hair. But I opened that barbershop up and I closed that barbershop every day. By the time the barbers or everybody else who got clients, by the time they get in, the shop being open. I'm here. I'm just waiting for, somebody gonna call, somebody gonna come through, or whatever. I never got discouraged about it because I knew that eventually it will get to wherever it needs to go because I know this is what I want. And if I want it, I'm gonna have to go out there and put my work in. So I would walk tech campus and put out flyers, hand out business cards, hang flyers on posters, on poles, and in laundromats and stuff until it started picking up. I had locks, and at the time, a lot of people didn't have locks at the time, and everybody would when they would come in the barbershop getting their hair cut or whatever, they would see me down there twisting my hair because I always if I ain't got nobody, I'm gonna do my hair. Y'all gonna see me doing something in here. So people started asking me about locks or whatever. Could I do their hair? Sure, yes, why not? So it started picking up, and never did change it. Like, every day, I'm still gonna open the shop. I'm still gonna close the shop. It got up to the point to where I could finally quit the job at the motel, and me and Quay will be good. So finally quit that job. My clientele went to going crazy, like crazy, crazy. It was just going up and up and up, and it was a blessing. It was a blessing. I remember me and Dolly used to sit in that shop from like 8 in the morning to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning,
Mm.
grinding, just doing her, doing good money, great money, and but it was the consistency. We stayed consistent with doing it. Um, we wound up moving the shop from Main Street to 50th Street,
Hmm.
behind Market Street. And okay, so we go over there, whatever. Clientele still getting better and better and better. At this point in my life, I knew that I needed to remove people out of my life. At this point in my life, I got closer to God. I started learning who I was. I started seeing things differently. So I started moving people out of my life, men out of my life, basically. That it just didn't do me no good. And it was like the day that I stopped messing with this person, everything that I had asked guys for had just started coming into my lap like instantly, 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 instantly. Um, I had always told Street that I wanted to open up my own shop. This has never been a secret to anybody that I wanted to open up my own shop or whatever. And he was like, cool. And he was like, and Street rolled with me on it 100% because I feel like, we learned from each other in his shop. Um, I think I taught him like some of the customer service parts or some of the things that I learned from Smart Styles and Pro Touch. I was able to bring it into his shop and teach him about it or whatever. So we learned from each other. So Street has always supported me and everything. So when I told him that I wanted to open a shop, he knew I was serious and he backed me up behind it 100%. Um, I don't know what happened at the shop that we had to move, but he was moving the shop to the east side of town, and I didn't want to go to the east side of town. For one, location is a main thing when it comes to business. And I love the east side, but it's on the end of Lubbock. Nobody's driving down there to pass a business.
Hmm.
For two, I love my people, but I know my people. I know what type of money I'm making, and I work till 2, 3 in the morning. And I can't be in the shop till 2, 3 in the morning, and it might be some little YNs outside trying to plot on me. You know what I'm saying? I just can't set myself up like that. So I wound up going to the Hair Emporium, renting a suite at the Hair Emporium. Hated it. Work. I'm not gonna say it's the worst place in the world, but I'm a talkative person. I like to be around people, and that was just too private for me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to. I've been at a jail. I don't want to be locked up in no little cubicle like I'm in jail
That's,
again with no windows.
that's
Like,
what I'm finna say. The little cubicle, the little cubicle.
I mean, we wouldn't even know if it was the sun was out outside. You can't see. It's no windows. So did that. Then COVID hit. So after COVID, well, when COVID hit, I still got to work. I got to live because they weren't trying to give barbers and cosmetologists unemployment at the time. So I opened my house up, did what I had to do, and I kept the same mentality as if I was going to work. I wake up, get dressed, put my smock on, close the door to my room, step in my living room with all my stuff set up like I'm going to work. Same thing. Um, After they released us from COVID, I went back to the Hair Emporium, and we just getting out of COVID. I can't be on the elevator and you over here coughing and stuff and touching these buttons, baby. This COVID. We don't even know what COVID is.
Yeah,
People is
yeah,
dying.
yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I can't do this. So something was wrong with my truck, and I had went to O'Reilly's to get something to see check on something for my truck. And where Loctrap is, the building was just sitting there. They had this biggest for rent sign in the window I've ever seen in my life with their number on it. So I called the number, and the man was like, the rent is this. I can meet you over there in 5 minutes to show you the building, this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, my mind is I'm just gonna look at the building. It's probably too much. I can't afford it. So we go in, look at the building, and I'm like, it's everything I wanted. Everything type of building that I ever always said. And in my dream for my shop, I've always had a bunch of windows. I love windows. And I've always visualized a corner window, and I have that. So talking to the man, he told me what the rent was, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, so what's the deposit?" No deposit. And "Are you sure?" So I'm like, "Okay, do you got to do a background, this, that, and the other?" He say no, and I'm like, "This can't be nobody but God, because you don't want to know nothing about me. You don't want to deposit. This rent is crazy for me, like to be very affordable for me." And so
Mm-hmm.
it was me and Dolly in the Hair Emporium too together. So they had a building next door. And I asked him about that building. The building was a little cheaper than my building. So I told Dolly, hey, they got a building next door, or you can work in my shop, one or the other. And she always wanted her own shop too, which, hey, we got a building next door. You have your shop, you get my shop. So the man gave me the building, gave me 4 months free to get the building prepared. But before then, it was already in my mind I'm opening up a shop. So I had already started buying chairs and stuff like that. I had a storage that was so full I couldn't put nothing else in it. That mama would let me put chairs in the living room. I don't know if you remember boxes being in the living room. So I was just getting
Mm-hmm.
everything together. This was before I even found a building. I just knew that this is what I want. So let me start working on it now. So when we did get the building, it was easy to go in there and just do the renovating we need because I already have all the equipment and material to go in here. So we just El Paso came in. I would get off of work, and me and El Paso would be in that building till 2, 3 in the morning, just getting it together, me and him. And then we opened up Juneteenth of 2020 because I always had that 2020 vision. And we opened up Loctrap then, and we've been open for 4 years now, 4.5.
And I want to touch on three things that I don't know if people caught or people will catch on to this, but it was three things that was very like eye-opening to me that's how I know that's how God works. When you was growing up, you loved basketball and you had to walk by cosmetology every day. And so that was divine intervention. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Then two, the fact that you worked in the cubicles, been in prison or whatever, being locked up, and you always had it in your mind that you wanted to see that your building to have windows. Whether it was because of that or not, it just was kind of crazy that that was the
Right.
connection that was brought to, or a vision that was come to. And then the third thing is, if your truck would have never been messed up and you never had to go to O'Reilly's, you would never have Loctrap.
I would
So
never
you
have locked
said,
trap.
and then you said how the no deposit and the 4 months rent, like that was just divine intervention. But the
Hmm.
things happen the way that they were supposed to happen. And I like when stuff like that come together because there's no other way to say it but God. Like it's no other
But
way
God,
that
that's
would have
it.
happened.
And I always tell people like I can't take credit for the way that my life going because I know the way that if it was me, I would probably still be locked up. I can't take credit for this. I can only give credit for the way that my life going. I can only give credit to God
Mm-hmm.
because I could be in so many different places right now.
All of us.
Hmm.
So you talked about Locktrap, which congratulations on the 4 years. But I wanted to focus on the big picture because a lot of people who know you, they know this or they may not know this, but talk about like your entrepreneur mindset. Because a lot of people that we know have shops, cut or do hair or whatever, or work in shops, have shops. But I think something that I want to focus on with you is the entrepreneur mindset because I think it's dope that you took your skills, but you have like the visions and the goals that you have is like unreal that a lot of people don't have. So can you talk about that?
So with me, I'm the type of person that, and they say entrepreneur, but I don't know what I want to call it. I'm just the type of person that you can't tell me I can't have something if I got 2 hands and 2 feet and I can go get it myself.
Well,
You
we got
just
a
can't
word
tell
we
me
say in the
that.
hood, you're just a hustler.
There you go. You can't tell me that. So like I say, I set goals for the things that I want to do, and it's always going to be something to benefit out of life. But I set goals in order to make it to that big goal. So, like I said, with opening up Loctrap, me always saying I'm gonna have this shop. I want to open up this shop. I had to start. I don't like to spend a lot of money at one time because I feel like you're getting me. So that's why I start buying stuff slowly and putting it to the side. And that way, by the time when it's too full, I get anxiety. I'm a little clustered. Now we got to move. But I think like I don't know. I honestly don't know where my entrepreneur mindset come from. Like when I say I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. I don't know. Like if we financially, I said like this beauty. I'm gonna open up a beauty supply. It's so different than opening up Lock Trap. I feel like opening up Lock Trap was easy. This beauty supply boy, you got me in a chokehold. But knowing that that is the goal, so now I know now I have to learn how to get these contracts together. Now I need to make a separate account just for this beauty supply store so that I don't be going into this money, messing with this money. Because if I take from it, it'll never happen. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I know I have to stay consistent. I have to be at work. Even when I don't want to be at work, I still have to be at work. I have to make sure I set myself a goal. I have to make this much amount of money so I can pay these bills. And then I have to make sure I can be able to put this much into my fund for my next business. Um, I think like my entrepreneur mind comes from people telling me no. I've been told no so long about any and everything that I wanted. It when I got locked up, I just said I never knew that I was gonna come out and be like this, but I always said that nobody gonna never tell me no. If I want it, I'm gonna have to do whatever it is I have to do to go get it. Not saying I'm gonna do anything illegal because I'll never go back to down that road again.
Mm-hmm.
But like they say, you go into a store and you go down the bread aisle, you got 12 different brands of bread. People gonna buy every last one of them brands, right? So opening up this opening up a shop or whatever or any business, it was always like, dang, what if this don't succeed because this one doing it and this one doing it and this one doing it. I had to learn to stop thinking about what everybody else doing. Stop worrying about what everybody else doing. Even though you see what they doing, everything that you see ain't always what it is. Stop
Mm-hmm.
worrying about that and just get in your own head and go get it done. Because what's for me is gonna always be for me. And can't nobody take that from me.
Nope.
But I don't I don't know where this mindset come from. I think it just come from being hungry.
Well, I guess that at the end of the day, like I guess it don't really matter as far as where it comes from, but I just wanted you to say what you said as far as making a goal, wanting more, and no, people telling you no, that just always kind of inspired and pushed you. And you've always known like you want to put these goals down and you have goals because a lot of people may just be looking at the things that they're doing and they just like to do it, but they don't have an end goal or it's just they just
And
doing it.
I
It's
would
just
say
a
too, like, you know,
routine.
with those goals, you write it down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to write it down, put it on paper, then start your business plan behind it. Once you start your business plan and start putting numbers down, everything starts to make a little more sense. So it makes it a little easier to get to where you're to reach that goal. But I think a lot of time people just get stuff in their head and they leave it in their head, and you can't always remember what you thought.
No,
But
no.
writing it down and going back and looking at them goals and checking them out, that's what really helps me.
Good. Well, see, that's why I wanted to touch on that because once again, it's a lot of people who may have goals or don't have goals, however you want to look at it, that work in this industry and they just doing the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if that's what you want to do or whatever, that's fine. But I do like the fact that you looked at it as the big picture. And I think another thing that we can just touch on briefly is that you do a good job of going out to the hair shows and
Oh
networking and
yes.
meeting with other people
Cause
because you can see their vision or see what they've created to help your vision to what you want to
hmm
become as well.
and you always want to be educated. Like you're never too big to be educated. Cause every time I go to a hair show and I take a different class, like it's always something that I didn't know before, or something that I'm learning new, or anything. Like now, a lot of these shops are getting into commission, so I'm trying to figure out how I do that. I want to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, I don't know, everybody just got to, as an entrepreneur, you have to be open to growth. You have to be open to learn from somebody else. You can't get to somewhere and just be like, oh, now I know it all. I ain't got to learn this or nothing. I ain't got to take no more classes. You're never going to get ahead. You're just going to remain in the same spot.
Yeah, you got to keep evolving. You have to.
And as an entrepreneur, that's all it is. It's about growth.
Yeah. It's about growth. And the good thing about growth is, as you just said, you're going to learn new stuff and you're going to find the hole that you have in your business. Because at every level, you're going to have to knock off something or get better at
Right.
something. I should say. So every level that you go up, you're going to have to enhance something. So being in those rooms, those spaces with those people who are doing the 100,000 a month or whatever the case, if it's financial or anything else, you're learning new skills to get you to that level as well. So
Right.
okay. So this next topic is one I know that you hold dear to your heart. Let's talk about Bay.
About what?
Bay.
Ain't Bay? Bay.
Yeah.
I am Bay. I have three beautiful nieces: Egypt, Ava, and England. Bay is for best auntie ever, because I am the best auntie ever. Um, I think I love my, not just because they're my nieces, but there's such a big age gap between them and my daughter. Y'all might not know. I had my daughter right out of high school. She's 20, and then my brother and my sister decided to have kids. Well, how was Egypt? 7 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
when they,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I am the best auntie ever. I can spoil them. I can give them whatever they want and send them to their mama and dad. They love to come to Bay House because Bay has everything, big dogs. You go outside and do what you want to do. We can go shopping, watch movies, whatever it is. We're going to do it. We're going to turn up. Even if
Every
we just got to
time.
rent a bouncer for nothing, we're going to turn up. But then right after that, y'all got to go home, baby. I love
Gotta
y'all.
go home. Gotta go
But I do.
home.
I love my nieces, even my daughter. I love my nieces, my daughter with everything in me. I have no nephews, which sucks. Maybe my brother will give me one. Yeah.
Not happening. Not happening. Well, I won't say not happening. It's possible. I told
Yeah, it is
myself
very
once I get
possible.
my financials where they need to be, man, I wouldn't mind having another kid as long as my bread is right though. Gotta be
Yeah,
right.
just have a boy. My mama keep asking me to have a boy, but baby,
Yeah.
my baby
Yeah,
20.
that's
We not
over.
doing that.
Yeah. 20 and one, I can't
Yeah,
do
we ain't
that.
doing that. That's
Yeah.
insane. That's death.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, people do it and kudos to them, but I
Yeah,
couldn't
kudos to
do
them.
it.
It ain't me.
Especially because we older now too. Like that. I ain't trying to
Exactly.
start over at 40. I'm just not. Well, I already
Yeah.
started at 34, so
I'm taking trips, baby. I'm not taking diapers.
All right, one of the last things I want to ask you. So, what's next for Miss Quenosha, Miss QE, Miss Locktrap? What's next that you can share?
Next thing is this beauty supply store. I am opening up a beauty supply. My goal is to have it open next year. I don't know about when next year. Um, I'm not in a hurry. I'm a praying person, if y'all didn't know. So I've been praying about this, praying about this. And the guy came into the shop, prophesied to me, and he told me to be patient. Don't try to rush it. So I take the word very seriously. So I don't know exactly when it's gonna open. As we all know, I've already turned the front of Loctrap into a beauty supply store, and we're growing monthly, growing new products, new hair coming in monthly. Our back stock is stocking up real good. The same as I did with Loctrap, I'm buying shelving and different things that I'm gonna need to open up a store, and I'm putting it in storage now. So I'm preparing myself for this store to open. Um, I don't say I don't know location because I don't feel like my first beauty supply store has to be in Lubbock. Um, I'm kind of thinking of Houston, outside of Houston, where Rosharon, that's where Shantas is, and that's my best friend. But I know she would help me run that shop there, and there's no beauty supply shop there in that area of Houston on the outside. Um, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna open it, that that's where the first one will be, but I don't know if I'm thinking of opening up two beauty supplies at one time or if I'm going to open here first or open there first. But I definitely do know I'm opening up beauty supplies and a second lock trap.
Yeah, I'll go
Because my
breaking
goal
news.
is I've been standing behind this chair doing hair for 21 years, going on 22 years. I'm tired. I'm tired. I love my clients. I love doing hair. I love talking to people, but I'm really tired. I I'm tired. So I plan on retiring. I plan on retiring from behind the chair in about 2 years and just focusing on the business aspects of these businesses. But within those 2 years, I plan to have a second lock trap open and a beauty supply open before I can retire.
Damn, well,
And
y'all heard it. You heard it here first. Well, I'm sure other people may have heard it, but the masses are going to hear it now.
yes, it's time, and I'll still, come in and do hair every now and then because, like I said, I love doing hair. That's like my passion now. So I will still come in and do hair, but I think it's time for me to step down eventually here soon.
Okay.
Maybe
And
my
this
nieces,
last thing,
take
oh,
after they auntie and they run all of them.
well, Ava already be trying to do hair, so
You
she
hear me,
she may
baby?
be she may be one of the ones because she
Yes.
really she be doing them dolls hair and stuff, and I'm just like, Lord have mercy, this girl.
And
So
that's
Ava
like
might be the
Egypt.
one.
Egypt will come to the shop and help me. England ain't trying to hear nothing about nothing.
Yeah, I can see
We just
that.
want to get
England
our hair
probably like,
done.
nah. Yeah, England like, nope.
And I know my daughter's not, she's not into the hair business or anything. So I don't want to force her to do, she can do hair, but I'm not going to force her into this industry. But those are my future goals. I would say those are my 5 year goals. I plan to have all this done within these next 5 years.
Okay, okay. And so the last thing is more of I want to give you your flowers. I try to do my best with doing that when I interview people. But I want to give you your flowers, but I want to also kind of ask, where did this come from or why do you think it's important? Is that it's something that I think is so dope about you is that you're willing to always work and help people. Like not only the people in your shop, but you don't mind like of course it's competition just because that's just the nature of the industry that you in as far as who the best or blah blah blah. But you're willing to work with the other people who do locks. You're willing to give the people in your business the tools, the skills to help them develop and gain more skills and make more money. So why do you think it's important to not only network with those people in your same field that most people will feel like you shouldn't, but also understanding the importance of helping people further their skills, whether they just, if they only knew how to braid, now they can be a loctician or whatever those things may be. Like, why do you think that's important and what brought that upon for you?
I think what brought it up on me is, like I said, when I first did bootring, I felt terribly because I didn't have that help. I didn't have anyone trying to put people in my chair. I didn't have anyone trying to even bring people into the shop. So I knew like I could help these people. But when I came home, when all my blessings started falling into my lap, my shop phone used to be my personal phone. This phone used to ring crazy. And there's no way I can do all these people hair. It's just no
Mm-hmm.
way. There's no way I can do all these people hair. And like I say, that gatekeeping stuff, that stuff dead. It's dead. People are so scared about, oh, she's gonna take my client, she's gonna do this, that, and the other. It's a consistency game. If you stay consistent, that client not going nowhere.
Nowhere.
It's too much money out here for just one person to be greedy and try to get it out. I like to see people succeed. I genuinely want to see people succeed. Not just me, because you can't take what's mine. So let me help
Mm-hmm.
you get you to where you need to be. It's no competition in anything. And like I tell you, in this industry, you can't be mad about nobody spending their money where they want to spend it. It's
Yeah.
their money. If somebody want to sit in somebody else's chair, you can't be mad about that. Now, what you got to do is go get you another person to sit in your chair to cover their spot because you did something that was inconsistent.
Yep.
So now they're not coming back. But I don't know. I'm a giving person. I'm just a little, and I think it probably come from mama because she's always been that type of person. You know that tough love. Even though she was tough, she's soft. Because
Mm-hmm.
if somebody ever called her in need, she was always there. And I feel like
Always.
I'm that same type of person. Like I genuinely want to see people succeed. I love this cosmetology industry. I love it. I breathe it. I live it. And I want to see everybody that wants to get into it. I want to see them grow in it because that's one thing about it. In the barber industry and the cosmetology industry, everybody gonna need their hair done for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
For the
You're
rest of
gonna
their
need
life.
it. You're gonna need it.
Can't do everybody hair for the rest of their life. So why not
And
give everybody else get your game up and come help me make this money? And that's what I pride myself on Loctrap too, because like I say, my shop phone used to be my personal phone. Now it's my shop phone. So anybody that works in Locktrap can answer that phone and get as much money as you need to get off that phone. Cause I can't make it out. And
nope.
I got a good clientele. I got a good clientele.
That you do.
I do. I just
Well,
genuinely want to see everybody make it in whatever career they in. I just want you to do your best.
and that's what I was about to say. Well, see, I think more people should take that approach of, first of all, it's not enough hours in the day. And two, like you said, gatekeeping, that's whack. So you're not gonna stop anybody else's blessings, but the only thing that you can stop is your blessings by trying to hold on
Right.
and hold information in. So you're gonna stop yourself. You're not gonna stop the next person.
Yep.
So
You're
you
gonna
might
block
as
your own
well just
blessings.
go ahead and share and understand that it's
Yeah.
power. And this mentorship that I'm doing right now, they always talk about collaboration over competition. You know,
Baby, that's what it is.
you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. But to come full circle now, I'm glad that we did this interview because I know a lot of people who may not know you or may have just met you within the past few years. All they see is the success of Locktrap and the hard work and stuff that you do, and they don't know the backstory of how it all came about, the trials and the valleys that you had to go through
Mhm.
on this journey. So I think I like to, when I do the podcast, to give the full story so people can see that, you know, people say it all the time, like, oh, it didn't happen overnight. But I like for people to hear it from the people to say, like, this is where I was at. You talked about multiple jobs, being a shampoo tech, hating
Yeah.
the places that you was at. And that all led up to this. And that's why you're reaping the benefits because, as you said, you stayed the course. You always knew that this is what I mean, not always knew, but eventually you knew that this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you stayed the course and understood that, yeah, it's going to be tough. But on the other side of that, with your faith and God helping you, you knew what this could be. And now you're living in that and you're a blessing right now. So I think that's so dope that you stayed the course and you could somebody else could listen to this and be like, oh, well, it might be a little tough right now, but what's on the other side is worth the
But
storm
people
right
got to
now.
realize too, there's nothing easy in life.
No,
It's
that's
nothing
worth it
easy in
anyway.
life. So why not go ahead and go through it if that's what you want? Go through them tough times because you got to go through something to get somewhere.
Yeah.
We're not spoon fed. We don't have silver spoons in our mouth and things can just fall in our laps. We're not there. We gotta put our work in.
You got to put the work in, and that's funny
We
because
gotta
that's what
do it.
the message was yesterday at churches. You got to put the work in. You
Oh
know, you
yeah,
can have all the
and I
faith that you want, but you got to work. You got to
you
work.
gotta work. You gotta work for it. Like you can't expect God to just bam, there you go, you got it. Bang, there you go, you got
Yeah.
it. No, because you ain't doing nothing to get it. It
Yep.
don't work like that. Now he's gonna make it easier for you to get it, but you
Yep.
gotta do your part.
You got to do your part. God,
And
like,
don't
hey, I'm
get
gonna meet you
cocky
here,
while
but you
you
got to
doing it.
come. You got to come. I'm gonna
Yeah.
meet you, but you better come on with it.
And the thing is too, I always remain humble. Like regardless of how much money you got, how much whatever it is you got, remain humble because it can be taken away in the blink of an eye.
Like they said, them tables will turn,
They
especially
will. Like
if
I
you're
hate,
not appreciative of it.
yes, and I hate for like I hate to when people be like, boss lady or she got some money. I hate when people do that. Like, don't do me like that. I'm still cute. I'm just
Well,
cute
yes, you are. You are, but you just at a different level. You still are the same person, but you just at a different level as far as how people see you, I should say.
because I was trying to give a TV away for my birthday yesterday, but they told me no because it's my birthday and I shouldn't be giving stuff away. And I'm like, but I like to give. I just want to
Well,
give it.
and I think I got that from you because that's what I did on my birthday. I gave away merch.
Yeah, I just want to give it.
So, hey. Well, sister, I don't want to keep you too much longer because I already know it's time for you to go to sleep. You'd have been asleep a long
Baby,
time ago. So I started off by saying it, but I want to end it by saying thank you very much for
you're
taking
welcome.
time to do the podcast. And going back to what I said earlier and through the message as well, I'm glad it didn't work out when it was supposed to, because now we have a special birthday edition that's going to be dropping tomorrow. So I'm so happy about that. So happy early birthday, because I know you're going to be asleep. When the
Yes.
shut's on. So
Y'all, I'm
happy
about to
early
be 23
birthday.
again.
And I did want to say, of course, you already know this because we talk all the time. I'm super proud of you. And I know
Thank
that you
you.
said growing up it was motivation, but obviously the tables have turned. I know we still successful in our own respective ways or whatever, but I look up to you and what you're doing. I think it's so dope when we talk about the business aspect of what I got going and what you got going is still motivation for me because I know my time coming. And
It
so I'm
is.
just gonna continue to stay the course, but I just want to let you know that it's super motivating. I'm super proud of you. I
Thank you.
love to share your stuff like it's mine because I'm like, hell, it's mine. I don't, it's my sister's. If she's
Exactly.
successful, I'm successful. So,
Because
but
we getting this together.
so yeah, I just want to make sure that you knew that. Of course, I love you very much. And I'm just proud of you. So thank you for
Thank
continue
you.
to
And
be
I love you
motivation for all of
more.
us. So but yes, enjoy your night and happy early birthday. I
Thank
will
you.
call you tomorrow. I'll let you get some rest. So thank you
All
once
right. Love
again for tuning
you.
into the Some Get It Some Don't podcast. Love you too.
Kilby is out of here, y'all. Good night.
All right.
Bye.